Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the back 9 of my Discraft Classics Challenge. Now if you haven't seen the front 9, pause this video, I'll put a link in the description, go ahead and take a look at that so that way you're not kind of lost on where I am. For this challenge I'm taking 5 classic discs from Discraft's lineup and throwing a complete 18-hole round. Minus the Avenger, I have no experience throwing any of these other discs, and that's what makes challenges like this so exciting because you don't know what to expect. Now I do want to give a couple of shout outs. First to Jim Lay for donating this MRX for the video. Thank you so much for doing so. And also to my buddy Charlie at Disc Golf Etc. for this sweet die on the Avenger. If you haven't seen what else that he does, I'll put a link in the description. He does amazing die work. Go check it out. Alright, so now on to hole 10, 370 feet, pretty much just straight ahead with a slight right to left. So just a simple backhand hyzer for righty players. For lefty like me, it's usually kind of a sweeping forehand. Since the wind was up at this point, the wind was starting to pick up here, I opted for the Avenger on just kind of a flex forehand line. So for myself, I'm aiming right behind that tree since I don't have the power to actually reach this basket, just because then it gives me this beautiful open look at the pin. And unfortunately, I exposed the bottom of the flight plate to the crosswind so you can just see the wind blowing, giving me this headwind putt. Oh boy, and I got a catch that I did not deserve. Now moving along to hole 11, the pin is tucked up to the back right on top of this little hill here. Very deceptive hole. You have to throw something up over these pine trees, either a big anhyzer turnover or a forehand. But with it so tucked far back, it plays a lot longer than it actually shows at 288. I think it plays more, a little over 300. My thought process here with the Express is to throw with the tailwind is to throw it up, kind of let it flip up and just kind of glide and let the wind push it towards the basket. I do saw it off a little bit too much and I leave myself with this tricky look for the birdie. Well, I don't cash in this time, but at least it leaves me with that easy par. So this back 9 is actually very special to me because this is actually minus the a couple different pin positions. This is what the original 9-hole Highland Park course was and was one of the courses that I started playing on. Hole 12, 295 feet. It does play pretty uphill, so it plays a little bit longer than that number suggests. Fairly open, you can throw pretty much anything that you want at it. Just make sure you don't saw something off and go over into the old pool house. Over the years, I've seen many discs go up there, and I may have contributed a couple myself. The play for me is a turnover flex shot with the Express since it is the most understable driver that I have here. Unfortunately, I did throw it nose up, which stalled out a lot of potential distance and left me with this really long look for the 2. And once again, can't cash in from downtown, so that's going to leave me with another drop-in par. But hey, not the end of the world, still throwing a great round so far. Alright, so hole 13, this is a must get after parring the last 2 at 198 feet. Actually, where that walker is, that's where the original pin position was, but because that brought the road into play, they did move it to this spot here. Even though it's a lot shorter, not as difficult, I do think it was a needed change. So I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get the magnet that far to the right, so I opted to go with the MRX on just an arcing hyzer, and I did get a brutal roll away, but fortunately it didn't roll too far as there is actually a cliff just a few feet behind where I'm standing. After parring the last 3 holes, it feels amazing to get back on that birdie train. Hole 14, another hole that you feel like you have to get being at 232 feet. There are a lot of trees to the left and the right that you have to navigate through, but just take either a straight shot, slight turnover, maybe forehand with an overstable putter or mid. Just navigate those trees and try to get the easy 2. I'm going with the MRV and just pumping it straight down the fairway and just let it gently hyzering towards the basket. I put this thing way too high up into the trees, and I get a much-deserved kick well away from the basket. But since I did get very far down the fairway, at least I gave myself a look. Couldn't connect on it, but still. After the drive, I thought I wasn't even going to have any kind of chance, but I'm still able to get that par, walk off to the next hole, which is another birdie opportunity. Hole 15, 250 feet, you have a few different plays. You can either take a low line on the right-hand side around those trees on the right and play a low skip shot to the basket, or you can take a gentle turnover or forehand. Again, being a cheating lefty, I can just take a nice and simple hyzer approach to the basket. And I really want to get a great shot with the MRV, show what it can do, so I opt for it here on this wide open look. And finally, I feel like I did the MRV proud, as that is the kind of flight that you can expect from the MRV. And the shot was good enough to give me my first real tester putt of the round, which I'm able to cash in for the birdie too. Hole 16, let's go. This is 279 dead straight. For a righty, it is just a nice simple hyzer flip or just pure power hyzer forward to the basket. For lefties, we do have those trees that were kind of a low ceiling on the left-hand side, making the tee shot really tricky. I opt for the Express, trying to throw a flex shot, which has been eluding me this entire round. Now, it did go a little high there, but I find a small alley through those low-lying branches and get a beautiful flex, and that puts me in this perfect position for the two. But can I take advantage? Absolutely, no doubt. Definitely by this point, I was getting used to the unique feel and deepness that the Magnet has. Hole 17, very straightforward, 309 feet. The tee shot is wide open, but it's as you get to the basket where the challenge presents itself. You can go with just a pure hyzer, which will kind of leave you a little bit short, but if you try to go for more of a pushing hyzer with an understable disc, you could easily get caught up in those pine trees on the right, making this a very difficult basket to access. With the gusting headwind, I decided to opt for a flex shot with the Avenger. And from the tee, this looks like an amazing shot, but look at how far back I still am from the basket. Can't connect with the long jumper, and it slides a little bit of ways, actually giving me a little bit of a tester putt coming back. So going into 18, neg 10, definitely feeling great about this round. And 18, a great finishing hole, 344 feet. There's not a whole lot of trouble. You want to get around this first tree on the left, and then you do have to navigate these trees late, as that last pine is where most discs usually end up as you try to hyzer into this basket. I don't birdie this hole too often, and with the wind really picking up, I decided to go with the Avenger to keep this thing nice and safe. Sawed off a little bit, but still, that is a safe landing zone, just giving me this simple approach with the Magnet. And that just leaves me with that simple tap in to finish out the round. You know, these 5 discs are absolutely amazing and really makes me actually want to dig deeper into them and do review videos on each one. So definitely look for those over the course of this season. Alright everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you again to Disc Golf, etc. for providing the dive for this video, Riverside Pro Shop, and Discraft for the continued support in 2020. Please be sure like, subscribe, and share this video to others, and let me know what I can do to improve on these videos, as I will be doing a number of these throughout the year. Thank you all again for watching, and remember, keep banging those chains.